Hello everyone, this is Gorax. In today's video I'm going to show you Chaos Shadow Fire boss and a poison teams that can do over 22 million damage, both free-to-play friendly and spenders, with low elemental affinity and no mythic equipment. Let's go! Chaos Shadow Fire, I believe this boss will be Season 2 Lothair, quite hard, not gonna lie, unless you have certain type of heroes. Now before we go over the heroes and the setups and the skill timings, this is the Psychicore I used, as this reflects what should be happening on global once Chief Challenge happens. I mean, not like you will have all of them, but you'll have your main team at this point. At least this is why I have a week before, which means we'll probably have like at least 1 point at this right column. So this is it. And as mentioned earlier, I'm not going to use mythic equipment during these fights, which means everything you see here will do more damage once you obtain mythic equipment. I didn't want to put mythic equipment on because not everyone will have the best pieces in the first week. So let's go over the teams quickly. So the first team is the team that I will run myself, and it uses Rook with exclusive artifact. This is basically the high-end team with a twist. It uses Whisk as a Witch's Remain applier, Dargo, as I didn't level up anyone else, Buff, and Heksandra. Okay, so that's the twist. Heksandra, I'm using Fenja currently, but I went with Heksandra here to use the poison heroes, because I don't know if I'm going to use Fenja on the ice boss. If not, then I'll probably put Fenja here, because we don't need healer to do damage. We are using the healer here to help us survive. As you can see, I didn't use Ancestral Protection set. I opted for 2 Puppeteer sets, as they're quite good, especially when everyone is close together. If your team is dying, if your damage dealers are dying from the boss AoE, then yes, make sure you use the Ancestral Protection set. Skill timings, full auto. It's not ideal. Rook should be the last one dealing damage. Rook is wearing Emperor set, so he should be casting after attack down from buff, and we should be avoiding the boss ultimate. So yeah, that's what should happen, but it's not, and we still do 92 million damage on full auto, and this is how the fight plays out. So let's go over the boss skills quickly while we do the first fight. Damage reduction and damage to our team. Not much damage done. Fire damage and damage reduction. This is a 5% damage reduction, so I would not worry about buff prohibition and dispel. Now, boss ultimate, summon Zats. We need to get rid of them quickly before this hovering finishes. Otherwise, the boss is going to get 2 extra stacks of damage reduction. So this is where most of your damage will be dealt with. However, with corrosion, we want to avoid Rook hitting these adds because there's not enough stacks of corrosion for Rook to deal damage. And that's the idea. So if you want to improve that damage, if you want to do more than 92 million, make sure you cast the skills yourself. Whisk with Mythic Gloves should be enough to take down the adds. If you bring some healer that can do damage, that will be more than welcome. This team will work really well, and this team will do a lot of damage on this boss, the hardest boss. Once again, Rook rockin'. Now, the more expensive team, for those of you who have Oggok, this team doesn't worry about damage of the boss, and I've tried to do some kind of casting time skill here with focusing on the adds, as you can see. Didn't work too well because it's all about, the timing is all about killing the adds. So if you can kill adds quickly enough, you will sink. The idea is pretty good and works like 75% of the time. So we're waiting for adds to start. We already put attack down at the wrong time. We should put attack down here. But no, really, because we are not using Rook's Emperor set. But if the ads if the minions don't die quickly enough, we will be in trouble. As you can see here, everything's going well. We have this skills done. However, we should move the Rook's ultimate a little bit further because it didn't proc where it didn't hit when there was defense down. So that's the issue. But it's really hard to time this team. You'll need to make sure you kill the ads at exact the same time. You want to cast out Oggok's ultimate when the ads are about to die, when the minions are about to die, because, you know, then you lose the immortality and someone might die. So Fruit Buff also moves, and that's annoying because now we don't have Rook being healed and other heroes. That's another annoying part. But everything can be done manually and it will work just fine. Another team, 17 million. Look at this. That's a big fall to 17 million. And this is Sacredia with a Whisk, with a Rook. I've done Sacredia here as well. Didn't work too well. Well, it worked good, but worse than this team. 17 million, that's huge. And that's because we can't kill ads. Not enough AoE damage. Whisk is quite mandatory. So yeah, no ads here. Not enough AoE damage. So we're struggling to kill the ads and we need to change the strategy. We need to basically focus our timers on the boss. On the minions. So you'll see that here. Look at this. We're not hitting the boss. We're waiting for minions to spawn, and we're gonna use our skills. So Dargo still using Witches Remain, and then everyone follows. That is not optimal. This is not what you want. And as you can see, we managed to kill these minions now, but it doesn't happen often, and the damage is really low compared to Rook's team. Also, we don't have attack aura, so that sucks. And then I also put in quickly equipment as well. So this is the equipment. I also put in Sabrina basically as another damage dealer, and damage wasn't that good as well. It was a little bit. We had easier time clearing the minions. But overall damage wasn't as good as with Gegnu, because Gegnu increases the amount of corrosion we do. And then we have Lothair team. So this is where we started, put aside corrosion, and we put in a Lothair team with enough haste to keep the 40 stacks of poison. However, the issue is when the minions spawn, the boss goes up and we can't hit the boss. Same with Cigarette and etc. So the stacks fall off and it's problematic. So I've tried a different approach, okay? I've tried an approach where we focus the minions. So we want to kill the minions because we can't get stacks on the boss, but it also means our damage will be super low. But I am not a poison player, Lothair player. I don't own him, so I might be doing something wrong. Hopefully the people who main poison team can do better. Because what we do here is we basically wait for the ads, we hit them with Rook, with Twitch, and then we finish them with Lothair. So it's not optimal. This is not what we want to do. We want to hit the boss with the ultimate when he's got enough poison stacks, but we can't do it. We can't do it because we're losing this poison stacks. So that's problematic. So I've decided to drop Lothair and use another poison team with Jathalea, Vicana, and Twitch. This stays the same, basically. Again, if they die, and I didn't have issues with my damage dealers dying, but if your damage dealers die, you might consider putting Ancestral Protection set to keep them alive. Now, if we play this, as you can see, still not proper aura. We don't really care about if either we're hitting the ads or the boss. But what we care about is the rotation here. We want Vicana to be first, then followed by Twitch and Jathalea at the end. Okay, we can do it on the boss. The second rotation will happen on the ads, because that's how long it takes with these ads being here. So basically we're not worried about when we cast. We just want to synchronize the damage dealers in the way. Vicana followed by Twitch, and then Jathalea to finish. She'll hit the boss, no poison stacks, we're losing a lot of damage this way, but that's the way we can deal with it, okay? And again, damage-wise, 18 million, which is better than the Lothair teams. Moving forward, I added a little bit of extra defense layer in Oggok. Obviously, Oggok didn't increase the damage, as you can see. Since we can survive 5 minutes, it doesn't matter what kind of healer we bring. So Heksandra or Oggok, same thing, as long as your team can survive. Then we move to the free-to-play teams without legendary artifacts that are hard to obtain. So basically, those two, some of you might have them, some of you might not, but there's always a replacement. If you don't have this, you might consider bringing Mirror or something else. We're basically trying to get this 25% extra healing, but Mirror grants you extra 20% as well. We don't really need that resistance. Ravatrix roots, you can put an eye or the eyeball of the giant on him and put something else on. The Lethalis we don't use, witches remain here, so we only have Crown of the Unclean, which could be placed on Lethalis as well. So the skill timing, totally default, and that's really bad. You want to make sure you cast the ultimate of your heroes at the right time, but even with that, 14 million more than Lothair with an exclusive artifact, more than Sacredia here. 14 million, no worries, no mythic equipment again, right? So your damage can go, but actually the placement is really important. Sadly, we need to do it this way, which means ally will not be healed by Furbuff's battle skill, so he has to have Ravatrix roots. We're gonna use the attack aura, and basically, as I said, this is totally auto 14 million, but ideally, this is what you want to do. You want to wait till the minions spawn and destroy them, okay? With this setup, it might not be instant, but this is the idea here. And then the boss drops, and you follow again with Sigrid. So double Sigrid ultimate is back. 14 million, mainly because one of the damage dealers is dying, okay? We can improve it by, again, putting Ancestral Protection set on our heroes. I added Witches Remain to this team as well to compare the damage, and it's very similar, okay? Witches Remain are on ally, but I believe the damage of this team will go up once you manually cast the ultimates, because again, the timing here is totally on default. And again, in this case, especially in this case, since we can apply multiple defense down, we want to ensure we manually cast ally's ultimate as soon as the yachts spawn, followed by Lethalis and then Sigrid. And we can follow with double ultimate again, if we do it properly. So that's the idea behind this team again. So I also wanted to see how this will look if I add mythic equipment. So this is the first time I put mythic equipment on almost everyone except for Lethalis. The damage difference is not huge, but that's because, again, we're going full auto. You do it the way that I've been telling you, and I'm going to show that again because that's quite important, but obviously some of us are lazy and we don't want to do that. But this will increase your damage. Ideally, you also want to cast Heksandra's ultimate just before you kill the yachts, especially if you have Gatekeeper staff, because this will help you to boost HP of your team. And again, they die, you cast Sigrid ultimate again, and rinse and repeat until you hit your highest score. So again, depending on how far you are in your Psychicore, this damage will go up. If you have mythic equipment, all of these damages, all of them, because none of them has any mythic equipment, all of them will only go up. So maybe the Lothair team and Twitch with mythic equipment will be able to clear the minions, and then we can still use Corrosion and Lothair. That's the goal here, but it might be quite hard because you would require almost perfect equipment. So yeah, this is the boss. I think he is the hardest one, looking at what and how this boss is. So more bosses to follow. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. As always, thank you for watching. Stay safe. Bye!